talking today with two folks from Dairy One, the organization headquartered in Ithaca, New York, that provides DHI services and forage and soil testing and other services to farmers principally in the Northeast. We're talking with Jamie Zimmerman, the general manager, and with Carol Benway, who heads up DHI services. And we welcome you both from your home offices.
Morning, Joel.
Jamie, thanks for being with us. Tell us, in the face of the stay in place and the concerns about coronavirus, how is your organization adapting?
Well, Joel, we've made a lot of adaptations in a really short period of time. Dairy One is part of the essential businesses providing services to farms and the food production industry. Our laboratory are open for business, and we've moved shifts around to schedule people in different ways so that we limit exposure from one another. Our employees have all been doing an awesome job dealing with the massive changes that come at them in a short period of time. And they're all focused on serving our members and our customers and living out our why of believing in farming and making a difference. Really proud of our employee population and how they've done and made quick changes in order to adapt and keep services going to farmers and people in the food industry.
That's great. Carol, DHI services obviously involves putting technicians on dairy farms as well as the other processing activities. Tell us how you've had to change procedures, or what have you told your folks, and how are you working with farmers?
So we're continuing to provide sound advice for our people, and we've always encouraged our field staff to follow appropriate, health guidelines and biosecurity measures while on the farm. So we're just re-emphasizing that to ensure, both our customers and our employees are staying safe while they're out there.
And number of employers encourage their folks to follow the CDC guidelines. You might just highlight how you're working with your people in that regard.
Yes, we are advising and encouraging our employees to follow the CDC guidelines, including, staying at home if they're sick. Our employees like to get out there and work, so sometimes it's hard for them to stay home, but definitely encouraging them to stay home when they're sick. Wearing gloves from the minute they step out of their vehicle and begin their workday, washing their hands more often than usual, avoiding touching their face, sanitizing equipment, and including in that even their computers and keyboards, clipboards, personal items that we don't normally think about cleaning but needs to be taken into consideration. And also encouraging them to keep a travel log so that they remember where they've been, where they're going, and just encouraging them to stay at home when they're not on the job, when they're not working.
And that travel log also identifies who they've been in touch with in case it's necessary to backtrack on a health situation, I presume.
Correct.
Carol, what about a dairy producer client who is concerned about anybody coming on the dairy under these circumstances? How do you respond to those concerns?
So if a farm doesn't feel comfortable having a field employee there, then National DHI has approved owner sampler type testing and will continue to code the farm as supervised for the time being.
And you have a variety of testing regimes in any event. So basically what you're saying is that you'll work with the dairy producer to do kind of whatever level they're comfortable with. Is that the case?
Yes, we are continuing to provide record service if they would like. We can drop off equipment in bottles for them to do their own sampling and test day, and then we can pick it up. So just trying to find that flexibility that meets their needs.
And I would assume that same flexibility would apply if the dairy producer, while he might be comfortable, or she, having somebody visit the farm, if they've got employees ill, so they can't support testing as they normally would, I expect you can work with them in that regard too. Would that be the case?
Yes, we're still available for their test day. We can provide added help if needed. We can change the test day, you know, we can be completely flexible in that. So we just want to get the message out there that we care about our dairies, and we want to keep providing them the information that they need to make sound management decisions.
Sure. As we saw the quote from the National DHI office, dairy producers are saying they can get their cows milked, but they need the information that you provide in order to manage their herds.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Jamie, what about the lab testing, the soil testing, the forage testing work that you do for your customers?
Joel, we continue to be fully open in all of those areas because that information is used daily by farmers to make decisions on their operations. So we have changed some shifts around, like I alluded to previously, in order to keep those services going. So all of our laboratories, milk, water, feed, soil, and the like, all remain open, and in order to provide that information. Again, we've changed some shifts around in order to keep that going and keep our people safe, but they're focused on getting the job done, and those all continue on.
You mentioned in an earlier conversation we had that in addition to what I'll call the DHI style milk testing for components and the like, you also test for a number of processors so they can calculate payments to producers.
Joel, we do. We provide producer payment testing for a very large number of farms here in the Northeast. And that's vital information for farmers to keep up their quality on their farms, and also that they continue to be paid for their milk appropriately. So all those operations remain open. We have transportation systems that blanket the Northeast on a daily basis in order to get samples into our laboratories in Ithaca. And all the people associated with that are just doing a great job of keeping those samples flowing and the services going. And so those all, again, remain fully open.
Well, that's, of course, great to hear. We appreciate you both taking time with us and explaining how your important services are continuing to be offered to producers in the region. We wish you and your colleagues the continued good health, and we hope we can adjust from this work from home situations. Thank you both for being with us.
Thanks, Joel.
And this is Joel Hastings speaking for DairyBusiness.com.